Hello, I am Sally Jervis and I am a counselling therapist and I run the Listening Room in Colchester, which is a counselling private practice. And I am about to start the nerves, they are real, but I'm about to start a YouTube channel called The Listening Diaries. And I have been toying with the idea of starting this YouTube channel for about 3 years. And it's basically going to be a channel where people get to ask questions to a therapist about life, about client work, about training, about being human. Because let's face it, at the beginning of all of this and throughout our entire journey, even as professionals, we are still human beings. So the channel is going to be a community that comes together and talks about real life stuff, real life feelings, struggles, battles, advice from professionals, experts, all of that. So that's the plan. But I have had imposter syndrome about doing this since the first time I ever thought of doing this channel. Hence why it's taken 3 years to start. Okay, but bear with, because as with all creative waves, we got to wait for them to come in. As with a lot of adventures that we start, new things that we start, we can get in our way for quite a long time, and then something changes and we get that courage to take that leap of faith, to get out of our own way and to trust ourselves and to just start it. You know, sometimes you've just got to start something to make it real. And so that's what I've done. And my first video that, well, I was thinking, how do I do this with feeling these real human feelings of feeling scared? Where does that remind me of? Where, you can see I'm a therapist, where did I learn that feeling? Where does that take me back to? And the first thing that popped into my head was two things, really. The first thing was, it takes me back to how it feels to be a client for the first time, to make that initial inquiry, to walk into that counseling room and face yourself, but ultimately face a stranger as well. So it took me back to that feeling, and it took me back to my training days. It took me back to that feeling of, probably even beginning the course. I can remember I was such a bag of nerves. I knew I wanted to do it. It was my absolute dream. But I was terrified. I was so terrified. And the whole of year one, I kept thinking, how am I going to do this? I've got to see clients. I've got to start seeing clients. It's going to get real. How am I going to do all of this? And so it took me back to the very first time, just before I started seeing clients, but the very first time I walked into a therapy room myself as the therapist. And it made me think that this might be a really good opportunity to start from my roots, to start from where I began, and to reach out to counselling students, to reach out to the university and the training centre that I first did my training at, which is Colchester Institute Essex University Centre, but KICS, the amazing organisation that is KICS, and offers so many people in Colchester affordable counselling through amazing students that they train up. But to reach out to these counselling students, and then counselling students across the whole of the UK, and who knows, maybe worldwide. Watch the space. We don't know where this is going to go. But to reach out to them and to give them opportunity to ask a therapist, a professional trained in private practice therapist, any questions that they may have, or worries or nerves, or oh, I can't do this, anything that's on their mind about that they, well, not really about, you can see this is my first video, bear with me guys, but anything that they really want to know about what it feels like to become a therapist. How does it feel going into the counseling room? Is there anything that you can do to prepare yourself? Any advice, any tips, and anything, just an open space, absolutely, as with therapy sessions, completely non-judgmental space. No question is stupid. No question is you should know this. You're going into seeing client work, you should know these things. No, not at all. Remember, we are humans first. We are all, no matter what profession we do, we are humans first. And if we don't ask questions, we don't grow. So I wanted to make this video to offer this out in a way that kind of we could align with, I guess I'm kind of feeling, even starting this channel, maybe a similar way that you guys may be feeling walking into your client facing year, or just starting the course. And maybe we can collaborate together, and we can begin where all therapists need to begin, which is at booking yourself onto that course, number one, and then starting your client hours, number two. So if you're interested and you want to send a question, you want to ask anything, there will be an email link below. Send me an email and I will answer your questions. Okay. And if you have signed up to your training course, well done. What a journey it's going to be. And if you are about to see clients and you don't want to reach out and ask a question, just know that you can do this. You can absolutely do this. You are a human, a client is a human, and you've got this. You've absolutely got this, but it's so normal to feel nerves. So yeah, hopefully chat soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.